city will burn, I'm gonna build one high.
Greetings, fellow Empyreans. I am Ashrothi, the voice of New Eden, and it is April 30th, YC126, and it is, Eve is now old enough to drink, so let's get sloppy and go hack some shit. This is the Eve Universe Show! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Gosh, I shouldn't have sworn in the first 5 minutes. By the way, I do want to go full disclosure. Apparently my monetization for last stream was perfectly fine. So for those of you who showed concern, thank you very much. But you mad lads have distracted me with all... Can I get to the show? Like, all right, Bash and McGruber with your gifted subs. Michael becoming an immortal tier supporter. You're awesome. I got to go back and update all my lists still. And then, of course, Sheesh and Bash coming in. Sheesh with the gifted sub and Bash also becoming a supporter. You guys are mad. Thank you very much. Makes it all possible. We do have a new Serpentis emote, but I do want to jump into this right away because we have a lot to go over today, and I assume that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to watch this after the fact, hopefully, to get information about what's going on. So today we are going to be breaking down everything going on in the Capsuleer Day event. The tracks, the sales, the sites themselves, and we'll be able to run a couple of practical ones as well. So we got all of our information. We got everything about today's event, or the event that starts today. It does look like it's going to be a very fun one. So in Germany, Eve can drink for many, many years. Yes, that's true. But let's start with the dev blog. What is going on? Oh yeah, I know why it's doing this. Hold on. There we go. Capsuleer Day begins. So, welcome to Capsuleer Day 21. New Eden is brimming with exciting adventure and lucrative rewards waiting to be claimed. Brave pilots of any experience level and playstyle can join in the hunt for riches and take on perilous challenges across the vast abyss. And this is a big thing that I think is absolutely true for this event and has not been as true for a lot of events. And I think this is really, really awesome, which is that this event is absolutely doable as a new player, right? Like straight out of the tutorial, get your million free SP by using the link down below in order to get, the million free unallocated SP. And that will give you more than enough skills to be able to do all of this, the event tasks. Now, you won't be able to do the hardest sites possibly, but everything is... The nice thing is that because of the restrictions on the sites are tuned for the ships and equipment that alphas will be using, right? Alphas and Omega will use almost the same gear pretty much in a lot of this stuff. So you do have a little bit of an issue with the hacking sites, but most of the hacking cans are not that difficult. The key here is that while you might not hit the highest levels, you can absolutely complete the track and make progress in this event a lot better than in a lot of other events previously. Heed the call of the Society of Conscious Thought and venture into the abyssal unknown to recover valuable data and technology. Pilots can gather points by completing combat, exploration, and manufacturing challenges to gain amazing rewards. So the way it works is that you will have three different tasks available to you at any given time. Now, these tasks can vary between all of the disciplines: industry, combat, hacking, etc. And once you have a task, the only way to clear it is to finish it. We don't know whether or not, like, tomorrow they'll refresh, but if I remember correctly, it jams them out for at least the day, if not multiple days, if you don't actually do the tasks. So that is one of the things. So if you're going to want to progress the market task is cake in nullsec, and I'll explain how. So the key here is that you're going to need to, like, if you want to progress up the things, you're going to have to do a little bit of everything. And maybe when something blocks up, you'll go around and maybe do a combat site to free up that block. They are not in opportunities. They are actually still in the agency. And they are also on the left-hand panel. Hold on. You can see here on my left-hand panel, Capsuleer Day 21. And then I have these 3 tasks. And then you can click on any of the tasks to open up the agency window. It's under Encounters in the agency, Capsuleer Day. And so I currently have a task to construct a filament. But this needs to be a tier 2 filament. So that's actually going to be pretty hard for me right now. And then one is to sell something on the market, and the other is to deal damage to battleships in the combat filament. So the thing about the market one is that this is why it's really easy. So if you have any market available to you at all in nullsec, you can just throw up the sell order for an item and then buy your own sell order, and it counts. There, you just bought it and you just sold it. Totally fine. Yeah. Don't overthink it too much. Also, I will say that doing a mixture of the combat and the relic sites has been the best for me when it comes to actually acquiring the doodads to do it. I did a bunch of hacking sites, and I wasn't able... I didn't get any of the isolated dimensional filaments or threads, but then I started doing combat sites, and I got plenty out of those. So... boom. So, all right. Let us go into the... actually, let's keep reading. Heed the call of the Society, conscious thought, and venture to abyssal, unknown to recover valuable items. Pilots can gather points by completing combat exploration manufacturing challenges. Exploration and combat sites have appeared all over New Eden. Take on the Triglavian enemies as you navigate newly surfaced collapsed conduits, or even drifters in the abyssal battlefields for the chance to recover priceless loot and filaments. Has anybody done a bunch of the combat filaments yet? If you've done a combat filament, have you gotten anything besides drifters inside of the combat filaments? I'm pretty sure you can get drifters and Triglavians in the combat filaments, but I don't know yet. Curious if we're going to get news Friday or Monday. Yeah, I wonder, what kind of news do you expect, Laurelite? I wonder. I mean, we did get the news that led up to this, which was this thing. But I don't know if we're going to... Well, they've gone both ways, or they've gone each way, where it's like they don't really update the news during the time. They do updates throughout it, or usually they like do one at the beginning and one at the end of an event like this. But we'll see. Engaging with abyssal pocket sites can earn you blueprints and rare materials for manufacturing filaments. Persistent pilots can use them to access a Leshek that keeps spawning 2 drones. Okay, so yeah, so it's either so it can be either Triglavian or Sleeper inside. Got it. Persistent pilots can use these to access up to 4 higher tier abyssal pocket sites and take them on increasingly difficult challenges. Persevere to the final tier and you'll encounter a highly profitable and challenging combat site. So profit from completing challenges, log in dailies, and upgrade to Omega. Now, we don't actually know, I don't actually know what the top tier prizes are for the tier 4 combat site. In the Doctor Who version, the suits, at least one of the suits was only really acquirable in the absolute top tiers. But I don't know if there's an equivalent to that here. I will say that with everything I've looted, I haven't looted a single skin yet. So it's very possible that the skins are inside of the sites. Well, we might learn more. If anybody says it, if anybody knows anything, please put it in the comments or in the chat. So that way we can all learn. All right. Log in daily to collect valuable rewards like skill points, Evermarks, and exclusive skins, SOCT ship holes, boosters, and fireworks. And upgrade to Omega at any time during the event. Claim all previous DLI rewards as well as an alpha rewards for your upgrade. So if you really want to do this for as cheap as possible, you can go into the New Eden store. Usually there is like a Weekend Warrior pack. Let's see if they'll do it, if they do it right now. Is there not one right now? Well, but when we get up closer to the Vanguard playtest, you should be able to buy a shorter amount of playtime. I looted skins from the combat Anom. Some of them have Eden com. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's the thing. The sites can have an Eden com crate, and that has skins and fireworks. I saw like cosmetic items like clothing, and but I guess they can also have skins. Yeah, Fed Navy and Red versus Blue. Right. Well, I'm fair. I'm specifically looking for the Capsuleer Day 21 skins, though. Would you need something more than a frigate for the event? Training for a destroyer at the moment. The relic sites require a hacking frigate. So any of the T1 exploration frigates will do. And the combat sites really, man, you could probably do it in a destroyer for the Anom, but the actual like in combat, the combat filaments, you're going to want a cruiser for it. Actually, I think you need a cruiser for it. So as a day 2 pilot, I would recommend sticking to the relic sites. Heron being the most common choice. That's because Caldari is the most common choice. By the way, Mike Azariah is here, ladies and gentlemen, a true Eve celebrity. Earlier today in Rookie Chat, somebody was talking about singing your praise, Mike. They got a little over the top. Apparently you're the bestest guy in all of Eve, but no, Mike is a great guy. If you ever see him in game, give him a pat on the back. He flies around to the rookie systems and hands out free ships to anybody who's young enough and trusting enough to go and get one from him. He helps tons of new people every day of this, pretty much get into and stay in the game. He is a hero in my book. I've done plenty of interviews with him. Good guy. Also does awesome CSM updates. We should sit down and chat soon, Mike. But anyone tried the caracal that worked in the Doctor Who sites? I haven't tried any of the combat anomalies yet, but the Vexer, one of the new bros that I gave a suggestion, he did it with the Vexer from the Doctor Who site and ran it just fine. No, there is no standings. Sounds great. Get the cap skins from hacking filaments? That's hilarious. Okay, so moving on. Tune into Twitch. Oh, by the way, guys, if you are watching this and you're like, I just want the information. Why doesn't Ash have bookmarks? I have a standing offer. If you send me good bookmarks for this video or any of my videos, that my live streams and stuff, and I end up using them, I will send you a Master Realm Cerebral Accelerator, which is worth like 80 to 100 million, depending on who you ask and when. Yeah, there's Bash right there. He's the guy who did it. Hi, can a T2 ship? I can use T2 ship with T2 weapons? Yes. All right. Make sure to stay tuned to Twitch drops. The Prophecy Navy issue was just done. I don't know if you can still get it, but keep an eye on Twitch. They've been doing a bunch of Twitch drops, including booster crates and Archon Arisen skins. And these Archon Arisen skins are some of the sexiest out there. No, I don't do Twitch anymore. I'm a YouTuber now. 2 new value packs have been released for on honor of Capsuleer Day celebrations. I'm happy because Malik was both right. Well, we were both wrong, basically, is what it boils down to. So there is 2 sales packs. There's the Abyss Explorer pack and the Abyss Protector pack. The Abyss Protector pack, the Abyss Explorer pack is $21, and it contains the it has 30 days of Omega, which is normally $20. It doesn't have any Plex, so it's basically 30 days of Omega plus these 2 expert systems, the Faction Warfare expert system and the Space Exploration expert system, which these 2, actually, unironically, these 2 expert systems are really, really good for this event. In fact, let me go check real quick, actually. Hold on. This is a good tip. Hold on. Expert systems. I just want to double check something before I give advice. New. Never mind. Yeah, it's only Archaeology 3. I was hoping that it gave Archaeology 5. But the point of the matter is that these expert systems will likely get you. Hey, Tranquilla, thank you. 07 on behalf of Total Eagle, Matthew Bornak, Kyle Peterson, Eric Henson, and Admiral Dread, and myself, of course, Tranquilla. Thank you for joining the many people gifting subs. You guys are awesome, or memberships rather. Thank you for the 5. All right, so but what this pack does have is the Omen Police Skin, the Prophecy Navy issue Imperial Police Skin, and the Imperial Navy Slicer Police Skin. The Imperial Navy Slicer of the 3 is probably the best looking in my opinion. The Slicer is a very popular ship for solo PvPers. Probably will be pretty popular, honestly. If the Omen was an Omen Navy issue or a Zealot, that'd probably be a lot better. And the Prophecy Navy issue is seen quite a bit. That also would probably be at least a little bit popular. But the other one, the $60 one, $70 one. Now this comes with 1,350 plex, which, so 500 plex is $25. So that's 50. So this is about $60, $65, I would say, worth of plex. So it's basically just that much plex, and then you get the skins for free, roughly, if you want to think about it that way. The Stabber is a good one. I for one I'm almost certainly going to have to pick up a Stormbringer police skin. So if anybody wants to gift me a Stormbringer Aegis police skin or sell one to me, I'll take one. I'm pretty sure I know at least one other person that wants one too. For Mimitar, it's the Rupture and the Stabber. It's the combat and attack cruiser for each race. So 2 for each of the big 4 empires. For a total of 8 ships. Okay, look. The Stormbringer in the Abyss is really fun, okay? Actually, the Stormbringer is really, like, the Stormbringer has become my go-to combat anomaly, high-set combat anomaly runner. It's really fun. The thing that you can't ignore about the Stormbringer is what I call the giggle factor, which is when you hit F1 and suddenly every single structure in the entire room that has hit points explodes simultaneously. You just can't beat that. All right. So that's all we got for this news article. Let's jump into the game. So there is a login campaign. Now, this login campaign goes for 30 days, right? So the login campaign will last for 30 days from today and has 30 days worth of entries. So if you log in every single day, you will have something to claim every single day. However, the big prize ends at day 23. So you can miss 7 days of logging in the next month and still get all of the skill points. Everything after that is just boosters. And this is one of those things that they've done recently. So don't get it in your head that, oh my God, they're making me log in every single day. The point is that you only need to log in 23 days for all of the prizes. And then afterwards, there's just some, residual bonuses for logging in, right? So, let's see what kind of things we get. So for day 1, we got some fireworks and 50,000 skill points for Omega. On day 2, we get the first of our skins, the capsule skin, which does. I mean, God, we gushed over these yesterday, but man, all of these skins look really good in my opinion. I love the black and purple crackle. It looks so good. And then if Omegas will get their Apotheosis shuttle. Day 3, we get Relic Strength Booster, which again, we commented yesterday, the Relic Strength Boosters are kind of I'm not convinced that those are that good. So on day 3, the Omegas get the Mecha Ball Capsuleer Day skin. There we go. Which is again, extremely pretty. Day 4, 10,000 skill points and capacitor booster 2. Day 5, SSCT turret booster and 4,000 Evermarks. Evermarks, people like to poo-poo Evermarks, but there's a very good chance that Evermarks are going to be very valuable, or a lot more valuable at least. Cheetah Capsuleer Day skin. This is weird. Hey, is Satonia here? If CCP sees this, what I would strongly recommend you do is by the time we get to day 6, I would switch these two. It's very, very odd that the Alpha track has a Tech 2 Cheetah skin and the Omega track has a standard Vexor skin. So the Alpha can't use the skin that they get, but they could use the Omega skin if they were Omega, but they're not Omega, so they don't get it. That's very weird. I would absolutely switch those two. But here's the Vexor skin. And here's the Cheetah skin. Could be extended. Well, yeah. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you go Omega at some point, then it makes sense. But I'm just saying, for somebody who's in the Alpha track, it doesn't make any sense at all. So, Admiral Noir's Spiced Rum. We did see this get added to the game. It's very odd. A bottle of Admiral Noir's Spiced Rum, though often questioned for its quality, this particular brand of rum remains a popular choice for celebrating a capsuleer's coming of drinking age, largely due to its affordable price and potent alcohol content. Like, there's a lot of alcoholic beverages in here, and I might be reading too much into it, because isn't Noir a type of drink? Maybe. No, it is spiced rum. The weird thing about this is that Admiral Noir was famous for betraying everybody and crashing a Nix into a supercar or into a station, killing the CEO of Ishikone. So, like, it is very weird that they added this to the game and are giving it away as part of the event. I wonder if that's... I can't imagine how it would even be relevant to anything. It's just very anomalous to me. At any rate, 100,000 skill points for Omega that day. SOCT repair booster on day 8 with a Synesis to everyone. Synesis is, of course, being one of the best hauling ships in HiSec. It's making fun of Captain Morgan's spiced rum. Looks like a joke. Well, yes. Yeah, probably. But my point is that, like, there's a lot of other admirals to call out. Like, invoking the name of the admiral that is now most famously known for, like, betraying the Federation, as it were. Which, by the way, spoiler alert, he didn't really do it. But, hey! Not only is today well, actually, today isn't technically EVE Online's birthday. That's in a few days. But it is Dutch Gunner's birthday. Happy birthday to Dutch Gunner, who is, Dutch Gunner is a great dude. He runs for CSM. You should absolutely vote for him when he invariably runs again this month or this year. He does a lot of cool stuff, both with Arataka Research Consortium and us and others. He runs Drifter Hives, and he does fleets in Pochvin and stuff. I've done quite a few interviews with him as well. Good dude, friend of the show, friend of the group. I consider him part of staff, even though he probably wouldn't. But now you gave me $20 because it's his birthday. I don't know what to tell you, man. Ill Will 07 to you. Thank you for that. All right. Well, like there is a lot of other alcohol items, and they have given out alcoholic cosmetic items before. Trade goods might have some stuff. Let's see. Well, I think let's go with special edition assets. Special edition commodities. Every once in a while, I like to poke in this and talk about some of the special edition commodities, because a lot of the stuff in these things are cute references to stuff. Oh, that is Admiral Noir's spice drum. Oh my God, there's so many things here now. Okay, Peaks Vodka, for example. There you go. Calakiota Peaks Vodka, for example. I have at least one thing to look forward to with turning 40 this year. I'll be in Iceland to celebrate it at FanFest. Heck yeah! Unironically, you should absolutely vote for Dutch Gunner. All right. Next. 5,000 skill points. Hey, Drellcag 07, thank you for that. Join in as a supporter. You get all those cool emotes and videos, and all of you guys that do have membership, make sure to tie. There's something you need to do to tie your Discord to your YouTube, so that way you get applied the correct roles, so you can get into the supporter chat. Anywho, where were we? So far we've gotten 10,000 skill points. So 15,000 skill points for alphas so far, and an additional 150,000 for omegas. And then, wait. SOCT Turret Booster 2, SOCT Scan Booster 1, Rediva Capsuleer Booster, or Capsuleer Day. At least this one is not alpha friendly. Once again, we're giving another T2 ship to alphas, the Helios. SOCT Relic Strength Booster. And then on day 12, we'll get the Gnosis. Oh my God. Can I do my show? No. Thank you so much, Wildcard, for the 5. And Bad Boy, thank you for the 20 gifted memberships. That's crazy. I'm gonna have to. I think that means the next one would be, yeah, baiting alphas into subbing. I think that means that I will be able to put the Sancha emote in. So I'll look into doing that as soon as the stream's over. Anywho, so on day 12 we get the Gnosis. On day 13, another 10,000 skill points, so a total of 25,000 by that point for alphas, and another 7,500 Evermarks. Day 14, Agility Booster, and Kizriel Capsuleer Day skin. Again, a skin that could theoretically be for an alpha, but is on the Omega track instead. I am very happy that I'm getting that for free, though. Repair Booster 2 and Scan Booster 3. I have not discussed the absolute uselessness. I don't agree with that assessment. I'm not sure where you would get that idea. We'll get to the sites eventually. So then by day 16, they get the Badger, that's a good skin for an alpha to get. And 125,000 skill points for Omegas. Day 17 is when we get our Praxis, so it's going to be another 17 days before Praxis. Get those buy orders in on day 17. Every Omega is going to get a Praxis. I honestly, again, I'm holding judgment because I don't know what the rewards are going to be in the top tier, in like the tier 4 combat sites, what they're going to look like. So I don't know what the high end of the rewards are going to look like yet. 25,000 skill points for day 18 and a Marshall Capsuleer Day skin. So that's cool. I'm glad that we're getting this for free as well. Mostly because I think it's a cool skin, but I wouldn't want to go like hunting for it. Day 19. Alphas get their Sigil, which is the Amar Hauler, and Omegas get the Repair Booster 3. 20 is another 15,000 Evermarks for Omegas and Relic Coherence Booster, which is for Alphas. 21 is the Mauler and the Metamorphosis, so we do get a Metamorphosis. The Mauler for Alphas, which is a good skin for an Alpha to be given. Why do they get the Mauler and not the Vexer? And then day 22, every Omega is getting the Zernitra skin. Let me tell you, man. Talk about a skin that is like a lot of people is going to have it, and a lot of people are not going to use it. Yeah. So then finally the day 23. We have 75,000 skill points for alphas and 250,000 skill points for omegas. So I think that's a great, I can't remember what the totals are for everybody, but, and then everything after that is just more boosters for everybody. Okay. So that's the login track. You want to be able to log in at least 23 days in the next month in order to get that. Next is the actual event track itself. You can find the event track in the lower left-hand corner where the little flag is, or if you click on the any of the tasks on the top left panel, or if you just open up the agency, go to Encounters, Capsuleer Day. And here we have Capacitor Booster 2, and then the Apotheosis Capsuleer Day skin, the Filament Crate, which this is actually kind of useful if you're doing the event. And then Metamorphosis, Synesis, Stormbringer, Monitor, whatever, Gnosis, Praxis, and Thunderchild. So the Stormbringer, which is the one that I was looking at really wanting to get, and I know Ty was as well, is halfway through at 600. The Praxis is a pretty good one and probably worth grinding for. And then the last box is a Glamorix crate, which probably is not going to be like, yeah, this isn't, the track is more like something that you get on the side. You just want to complete it throughout the day, throughout the month. I would say that the Praxis skin is pretty cool. The Thunderchild is, as I said in chat yesterday, the Thunderchild is a ship that's loved by people who love the Thunderchild, right? Like in any given shield battleship fleet of sufficient size, there will always be at least one person in the fleet in a Thunderchild that just refuses to be in any other ship just because they want to be in a Thunderchild. Okay. If you log in as Omega on the last day, I think you get, yes, if you go Omega at any point during the entire thing, you get all of the Omega rewards too. No, you can't just leave the game up because, like, basically every night at downtime, the server goes down, and then, like, you have to log in then, and then that would be the new day. It's a Thunderchild that only a mother can love. Yeah, pretty much. What about cool apparel? The cool apparel is mostly in the sites. I mean, this is unhealthy amounts of time for like 2 to 5 million ISK per hour. People who multi-box scanning sites are saying the same stuff. So here's the thing about that, though. Here's the problem with that, which is that a lot of the stuff that's coming out of these sites right now are brand new, which means they have no estimated value. I even saw somebody in Rookie Chat today commenting about the fact, or I think it was Rookie Chat, somebody's talking about the fact that he thought he got 5 million ISK from a few sites, but it ended up being worth 100 million ISK when he went to go sell it because everything's listed at 0 right. Most of the stuff is just 0 right now. Built one of the BPOs and got less than what it took to build it. That's pretty, well, again, like, so all of these things are effectively have 0 estimated value at the moment. So that is a big piece of it. And a lot, so the hacking and the anomalies are just to get the stuff that allows you to go into the real sites where the real loot is. A lot of ships are cool conceptually, but gameplay makes them not great because, well, gameplay. I don't know if a lot of ships. It's certainly better than it ever has been, but yeah. Either way. I have been roaming around. I need to head back to Dodixie. And then when we get there, we'll try out something else. But in the meantime, we're going to roam back there and look for some new sites. I think I covered everything. Did I cover everything? Hold on. Oh, right. Hold on. Let's talk about some more things. Linked below is this Eve Workbench page. Eve Workbench is a great place to share and save fits. And while this fitting is not mine, actually, it's just Zap in chat right now, or it's just Zip rather, is the guy who gave me this Astero fit. So I don't know where exactly he got it from. Maybe Urschlag. I don't know where the origin of it was. But I just wanted to make sure that people knew that it's not my brainchild. But the fit is at the Eve Workbench site, and I've been using it. It can be done. It can be run the Relic site, the Relic Filament, and the Combat Anomaly site. You can successfully do the Combat Anomaly site with this Astero. You don't need a cruiser for it. So I really like this because it can roam around in K-Space and do both of the kinds of sites that you can find in K-Space, regardless. And the only thing I do recommend is that I had a bit of sketchiness on the tank when it comes to the Kikimora, the final boss of the room. So it might be worth, especially for a newer player, to keep some hard shell, or even consider plugging in some low or mid-grade Asclepians for some additional armor reps bonuses to help keep you in the fight. But in general, you're going to want to get as tight as possible to the Kikimora and orbit to mitigate as much damage as possible with the afterburner. The micro warp drive is more for like relic sites and stuff when you're trying to get between cans quickly. Orbiting the Kiki at 25 seems to keep him out of range. Oh, so you can just outrange him too. That's a good idea. There's also an annoying bit where we get this idea that how the ships are used because of how we as players use them. But in a lot of lore, most ships fill a lot of different roles and don't really have gameplay. You know what? It's funny because, like, I've said this in particular when it comes to the Edencom ships lore light, and this pisses people off so badly because, like, a lot of people want the game to basically exclusively, like, be a game first and that the lore should justify the game. But there's a lot of storytelling in the mechanics of Eve. And there's a lot of things where it's like they are the way they are because these ships were, in fact, not built for us, right? There was their intended purpose is something different, and we just use them for whatever the hell we want. Is there any way to enable the tactical in abyssals? No. Okay, yeah. If you can just orbit at 25 kilometers, then that should just be fine. So while I'm moving around, as I'm traveling, I'm mostly going through the major thoroughfare because, like, you're going, if you set destination to a distant place. Ooh, hold on. You set destination to a distant place, then, you know, obviously you're kind of going along a major thoroughfare, almost by definition. So one of the things I like to do is you open up your agency and you go to encounters and then, nope, exploration, and then cosmic signatures. And then you can see if there are any signatures adjacent to you. And likewise, you can go to exploration combat anomalies and see if there are any of the Forsaken, or the not the Forsaken, but the so the treacherous conduit is the anomaly and the desolate conduit is the signature. Also, I've heard a lot of people in rookie chat today because, you know, they're just going out there and doing scanning and stuff for the first time. If you're doing it in high sec, yes, you're going to get a lot of wormholes. And I do make the joke, like you always find what you're not looking for. But let's think for a second why this is happening, okay? The other sites, the data and relic sites and everything that are out here, and even the combat sites, they get ran really quickly. When a site gets ran, they get removed and then respawn somewhere else. Unstable wormholes survive for hours and are much rarer to be like collapsed early. Therefore, as you're roaming around at any given time, the vast majority of sites that you will scan down will be unstable wormholes. But the secret is that you go through your territory and you scan everything down, everything, even the wormholes. And then when you go back through it, those are already still scanned. They'll save their scan until you log out. So now I can see, like I would see 2 signatures here and I'd have to scan them down again. But I can see that these are already wormholes, but even more critically, I'll be able to see if a new signature pops up. And those new signatures have a significantly higher portion, chance of being one of the ones that you're wanting, because the ones that have a higher turnover are the ones that are more likely to be the ones that are spawning right now. So that's the big secret. This is how people find sites faster than you in high sec. For instance, this one. There's 2 signatures here, and I already scanned the wormhole, which means these 2 signatures are more recent than the wormhole. I ended up not even feeling like I needed the web, to be honest. Like this combat site is probably not going to be for me. I don't know. I might look it up and see whether or not I want to do it in the Estero anyways. And the wormhole is certainly not going to be for me. But I'm still going to scan those down because I like patrolling this area. And so it might be worth it to me to keep it up, or to like know that they're there. Early says low sec is crazy, like 7 relic sites in one system. Yeah, and that's the other thing, is that if you want to go to less crowded areas, and one of the things I'm interested in trying out actually is yeet exploration, because these anomalies and these signatures spawn everywhere. So you could go to nullsec and just roam around for a bit and just do all of the anomalies and signatures that you find, and then use Pochfin to get home whenever you feel like it. So this is the reason why I wanted 16 probes too, because with 16 probes, basically every time I launch probes, there's enough probes to auto reload, and I'm lazy. No, the sites are the exact same regardless of where they're at in high sec, low sec, null sec, or wormhole space. They are the exact same site. That's why when people are saying like, oh, well, the null sec sites are crap, it's because they're the exact same sites as in high sec. There's only one, there's one anomaly. There's just the treacherous, and there's one signature, just the desolate. The same everywhere. But those sites are only designed, like, those sites really are only there to get you the stuff to actually be able to do the real stuff, which are the filaments. There's a relic site. See, I already have some of these signatures scanned, so like higher chance of it being a good thing. Desolate collapsed. There we go. Now, because I was scanning over here and it didn't get a hit, I know it's probably closer to this one, so I'm not even going to do a full scan over there. I'm just going to scan this area and see whether or not I can grab it anyways. And I did. Look at that. A second relic site. Hot diggity. Go for the survivor cache first. There's a second desolate. Wait. Oh, I didn't realize that you had to hack the survival cache too. That's funny. Go to the tower next. Wow, 3 relic sites in this one system. Wheat? Yeah, there's the close. Oh my gosh. At least I'm getting restoration nodes while they're by themselves. That's like the best time to get them. Dang it. What is on the cap? I guess you'll find out in a second. There you go. And as I said yesterday when we were talking about this, or whenever it was, you do end up, if you saw, I just got a big stack of one thing, right? You only need 5 of these, and I'm getting like them in stacks of like 10, 15, 20. But also, you need 5 different ones. So the chances are you'll have too much of one and not enough of another. And I think that your best bet for coverage is a combination of the combat and the hacking sites. But that might just be my own superstition at this point, I admit. It's not a trig emblem. It's just it's XVI. It's got kind of a triggish color to it, though. Oh my gosh. That's why it's good to have T2 hackers right there. That is some ancient apparel. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's 5 years old, right? Yeah. It's a relic. So control click to lock something, control shift click to unlock something. Whatever. Super helpful. Oh, the control shift click? Yeah. Well, if you learn anything throughout this whole video, make sure to like the video. And if you want to get more of my content, you should absolutely subscribe and come onto my Discord to get notifications, ask questions. Next. I mean, you do get rewarded. Like, you can have tasks to hack the cans, and I just find that hacking all the cans is fine. I'm a pretty big just hack them all kind of person, although arguably one could say, especially in the filaments, because like it actually is legitimately hard to hack all the cans in time. So if you aren't confident, or if you want to just prioritize that, you could do that in the hacking sites or in the hacking filament. Which when we get home, that's what we'll probably do first, is go and make sure to do the hacking filament. V-Rod with a gifted sub. Congrats to Kinma Amnik. And thank you to V-Rod for your continued support. 07 to you, my friend. But the problem with doing what I was doing, where you do control shift click, is you do what happens is what just happened there, where I managed to have the next can selected so I could do the hack on it, but I didn't. Well, I had it targeted so I could do the hack on it, but it wasn't my selected item. So then when I went to go loot it, it made me start going after the other can. So you got to keep an eye on that you have the correct can locked or like targeted if you're going to be bouncing or like unlocking ones. Just like God damn it. Also, if you get out from within 5K of a wreck, it counts as failing. Don't do that. All the things you shouldn't do in one small package. Y'all being mad lads with your subs. I think the next one to put in is Sancha. And then, does that mean we have all of the pirate factions, or all of the major pirate factions too? I think. Because we have Angels and Garistas. We have Serpentis. Yeah, that should be all of them. No, Mordu. I said major pirate factions. And I don't mean that to slight Mordu. They're not a pirate. I mean, unless they are. I consider like SOCT and Mordu the quote unquote lesser pirates, because but yeah, whatever. Wow, this one's been fun. Kind of wild that Sancho's supposed to be evil for slavery, but they are next to Amar. Well, I mean, that's just where they occupied. But so like Sancha's slavery was like, so Sancha promised a utopia for those who would follow him. And things were pretty great, but then people discovered that it was pretty great because he took a portion of his population and put mind control implants on them in order to make them into slaves to serve the other half. Now, that is pretty Amarian. But no, it was the false pretenses, if I understand correctly, that really got people mad at him. Upwell is Sancha and oh, hey, look there! I got some isolated dimensional filaments. That's cool to know. There is a whole thing about like Sancha secretly working with Upwell or or PKN or any of that kind of stuff. There's also, remember, there are multiple sub-factions of Sancha's Nation at this point. Not all Sancha Nation follows Master Kuvakai. Cornelius Sedek has his splinter faction, the Vimoksha Chorus, which are not subsumed to the main hive mind. Because there are those who believe that Master Kuvakai is a false Kuvakai. Kuvakai, which however you want to pronounce it. I like how over time I'm just getting sloppier and sloppier. Oh my gosh. Really? All that for nothing. Filament sites tier 1 and tier 2 are dropping almost the exact same stuff as data sites in a sense that they were not a single level 3 filament in the big yellowish power blocks from the downtime. Well, tier 1 filament, especially exploration, will likely be pretty much the equivalent. It's just this is your own personal hacking field. To me, it's not surprising that the most grotesque of the pirate clans are next to Amarian space. Also, Amarian space is the biggest space, so a lot of places are next to Amarian space just by the principles of geographics. Yes, I just failed a I failed a hack once and it didn't do anything. I haven't tried failing the hack multiple times. So I do strongly recommend Caldari drones and Caldari Navy drones because drone aggro is pretty fierce in these sites. And I found my hobgoblins having a lot of difficulty hanging. Usually it's the second wave. So what you do is you have a wave of 5 road drones, and then a wave of another 5 road drones, and then the Kikimora. Although I've also noticed that since switching over to Vespas, I actually haven't gotten. Oh no, that one does. This top one is taking aggro. That Caldea Navy Hornet is actually tanking at least one of the swarmers. I've also noticed that these rats spread out their damage a lot. Like when they spawn, I usually, like right now I'm taking damage on 3 different drones at the same time for 3 different rats. So it's like each rat has its own individual targeting, which is kind of not that common. No, so this event has a lot of the word abyss in it, and filaments are involved, but this has nothing to do with the normal abyss. The normal abyss doesn't provide any piece to this. Oh, let's try that 25-kilometer thing. Let's try the 25-kilometer thing. Micro warp drive. I mean, yeah, that totally works. Oh yeah, no, the Stormbringer is hilarious. I did it in a Stormbringer earlier, and it's 1 shot for the first wave, 1 shot for the second wave, and I think like 2 shots for the Kiki. Yeah. Oh, that's good to know, Ball. How knowledgeable am I of carriers? We're going to call it low. I can answer some basic questions, but it's not like I've never used a carrier in combat, PvE or PvP. I did have somebody show up earlier in one of my sites already and had a guy steal my loot. And it made so that is absolutely a valid strategy. You know, grab a coercer or sorry, like a confessor, and then just go out there and grab the loot as soon as the rat gets killed, and then just be like, "What are you going to do, Estero?" If they're like me, the answer is nothing. But every once in a while, you'll get some fun kills. Yeah, no, Neo. If you hop into Discord and you hunt down Timerian in our Discord, he does know, but and there's probably a few other people that are pretty knowledgeable with such things, but no. Everything I would say would be things I know from talking to other people. But see, while I was in here, a new site spawned, and as I said, new sites are more likely to be the correct sites because those are the ones being run and cycled through. And lo and behold, it's another relic site. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, yeah. So you're trying. So one of the reasons why you're orbiting is because you're trying to move him off of the landing point. That tracks. So there is a combat anomaly, which is an anomaly, and then there's a relic site, which is a signature. The relic site is well, the one I'm in right now. The relic site is the desolate collapsed conduit, and the the combat anomaly is the treacherous collapsed conduit. Any better implants for scanning than the mid-tier ones? Oh boy. It's just Zap might have a better answer for you than that. He's a signal cartel. I know the black glass makes hacking a lot easier. it's just zip. Oh, Snoo. So Snoo, he Neo here wants to touch base with you about carriers. Snoo is Timerian. And if it's just zip is still here, he can answer questions about scanning implants, probably. Lorelai, are you talking about carriers? Because yeah, that's the only thing I like. One thing I do know about carriers is that they're not very popular at the moment. Any better implants than just the black glass or the virus made tiers? Black glass is going to be the main one, but if you're going to use black glass, you need a Zegma analyzer. You can't use a normal Relic 2 analyzer with a black glass. There you go. What is black glass? Black glass is a special implant that you get by doing. You can get it by going to these different areas and intosising specific monuments throughout New Eden. It's kind of like a treasure hunt, but in the end, you get this thing, which increases your virus strength by 20, which I've talked about many times. Virus strength is the single best important stat for any explorer, because like here's a good example actually. So this is a 40-20 right here, right? If I had and I have a 40 virus strength. I have a 40 virus strength because I have a bonus chip and I have a Tech 2 virus analyzer, or relic analyzer rather. So because of that, I can hit this thing and take no damage. If I had a Tech 1 analyzer, then I would hit this thing and would then take 20 damage, and then I'd have to hit it again, right? But because of this, I can blow through it with no damage whatsoever. If I had a black glass in, I could swing at anything with less than 60 or less coherence, and they're gone. So like the vast majority of nodes in the game will get blown up in 1, maybe 2 hits with a Tech 2 with black glass. So that's why a lot of people like it. The coherence doesn't, yeah, and the coherence doesn't really matter because if you're not taking any damage because you're blasting through everything, then who cares about your coherence? The other problem is that the Zegma, while a normal analyzer has 3 slots for utilities, the Zegma only has 1 slot for utilities. So there is a bit of a give or take to it, but your increased virus strength is so strong. How do you have so much already? I hack. I attack. Normally, I don't break a defense node like that, but because I saw that I accidentally covered up a wrench, I knew I'd be able to get the energy back from it, or the health back from it, so I went with it. If you get out here in the middle of nowhere, like, I mean, I've done so far in this one system, we have done 4 relic sites and 1 combat site in high sec. What's my pod worth? My pod right now is empty. Oh, my good hack. I don't have a. I don't. No, like that's the thing. I've been hacking for so long, now that like I've actually never gotten around to getting a black glass. I've kind of promised myself that I won't get one until I go and earn one for myself, and I haven't gotten around to that yet. And I mean, like, I don't feel overly compelled to get. I'm not in any rush. All right. Well, I mean, somebody did. Let's go look at my pods. Like, my nicest pod is here is my high grade Asclepians, except for Epsilon. And yeah, this is my 10-in-1 pod. This is my most valuable pod. It's really good, and I got really sad when I lost it earlier and I had to get a new one. And then my Fed Navy clone is high grain amulets. My Gila clone. And then I have a set of mid-grade crystals and a set of mid-grade snakes in Zarzak. The event sites are everywhere. And the primary event sites are like inside of filaments, so fit not probes and fit. No! I'll fix that. I would just use sister core scanner probes. Always use sister core scanner probes in scanning. Never not use sisters. Like the sister core scan. The sister's launcher is pretty expensive, and I would only use it if you need it for fitting, which you probably will in this case. But the sister core probes are very cheap and increase your signature strength or your scan strength by the same amount as the probe launcher. So pretty much every explorer should always use sister probes. No offense, I sincerely like your idea, right? Cool looking forum about Eve lore for a Russian audience. I appreciate it. No, I mean, I'm not offended at all, man. If like, I certainly don't like whether if people don't enjoy the event, then that's CCP's problem, not mine. But I'm more trying to correct what could be potential lack of understanding, because like often I see people like catch these things and then they repeat it all around, and you know that's where weird assessments come in. So like if people say, like I've had events where people have been like, oh, this event is worthless, while people are making billions on it because, you know, if you for the first week, if you look at all the items, they're going to say that they're worth 0. But yeah, I think that it's really weird. The thing I find the most weird about it is like with the Doctor Who event, there was like the top clothing items that was put up front. So that way, like people knew, like there's a reason why you wanted to grind all the way up, because, you know, this isn't one of those events. What's weird about this event versus other events is that it's not like you go, oh, well, I am powerful enough to do tier 4, so I'm going to do tier 4. No, 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 no. You have to work your way up to it. You got to go hack some sites and do some combat sites, then build some filaments, run some T1 filaments, build some T2 filaments, run some T2 filaments. So like chances are no one yet has any idea what loot actually drops in the tier 4 filaments, because nobody's had a chance to do them yet. Nobody's had a chance to build them yet. So we'll have to see. But again, like the thing is that in the previous, ooh, I do like that. I do like that suit. This is one of the suits that I really like. It's got the pistol on the side. This one's a good one. Sorry, I got myself distracted. Are you able to sell T4? Yes. I mean, yeah, you can sell the materials and the filaments themselves, right? So how do you apply the suits to your avatar? Because for some reason I have a Triglavian suit, but I can't interact with it at all. If it is in your item hanger, when you go to do character customization, you will have the opportunity to choose it from the clothing items available. And then if you save your, make a new portrait, save it and all that stuff, you'll notice that the clothing is now gone. And it is like on your character. And then if you change out of that outfit, then it'll spawn in the item hanger that you're at the time. I know it's kind of weird, but it comes from the era of EVE Online where it was incredibly important that everything must be able to be destroyed. So the idea of like clothing items that, like, because clothing was one of the first premium items, there was this like concern about whether or not it was able to be destroyed or not. So it is a physical item that can be destroyed until you put it on. And then once you put it on, it's just part of you until you take it off. And that's the compromise. It's also why every once in a while, there's been a couple of times where I've literally, like, I've had a piece of apparel that's in somewhere dangerous. So I'll just throw it on real quick, move it to where I want to move it, and then take it off and put something on. Yeah, ship skins came later. And it took a little while for the EVE player base to accept the idea that there's a thing that once applied doesn't get destroyed. Like that was haram to early EVE. That cultural idea was kind of one of the things that CCP had to get past in order to start doing, selling things for premium currency, because who wants to pay real life money for something that can be destroyed? Yeah. Originally, well, that was more of a limitation of their tech, but they hadn't created the skinning system yet. So instead of skins, they gave you a BPC that allowed you to turn a ship into a skinned version of that ship. So like I had a Sorum Magnate, but then when the changeover happened, I ended up with a normal Magnate and a Sorum Magnate skin. So I would argue you've never had to manually move Plex, mostly because you can always just use Plex where it's at. But it is true that once upon a time, the Plex vault didn't exist. So, like, if somebody did want to sell Plex in, say, 1DQ, they would have to usually buy it in Jita and try to physically move it out to 1DQ some way, which is why every once in a while you see these big Plex kills, and then everybody's like, oh, you're an idiot. Although now it's even less of an excuse because you can use the Plex vault to make it 100% safe. And while I'm in here, oh yeah, never mind. I'm silly. I was about to say 2 more signatures appeared, but it wasn't 2 more signatures appeared. I just haven't finished scanning yet. And I've totally forgotten where on this ring I'm supposed to be scanning, so let's just start picking places. There was a 75 old Plex that was lost in an IBIS in 2011, I think it was. But there was 2,000 Plex that was just lost in a, oh no, it was 75 Plex in a Kestrel. And then recently it was 2,000 Plex, I think, in a Kestrel. I mean, I didn't think that we would get so many sites that I feel like I'm going to have to stop doing sites just so I can make it home in time to be able to do the The filaments. Otherwise, we could be here all day, man. Are you planning on doing some filaments later in the stream today? Well, I was hoping to. I've got a little over an hour and a half or so that I can do stuff. Let's finish this system and then like beeline it. Oh, this is an angel site. Ah, lol. Normal hacking site. Well, whoa. I assume you got it back, Neo? Oh my gosh. Triple angel relic sites. What a troll. 75 old plex is a massive loss compared to 2,000 new plex. Yeah, that's true. 2,000 new plex is 4 old plex. Check my inventory and it was there. Oh. Huh. Gosh, I want that gosh darn police skin. Specifically the Legion, although the Stormbringer one looks good too. Or is another one I really want. I'll have to go look into how much is the Stormbringer skin. Anybody in Jita? The Stormbringer skin is part of the $70 Plex package right now. So 4 angel relic sites in a single system. I'm almost impressed. All right, let's get home. Hack them and delete them? Nah, somebody else can do it. I don't feel like it right now. Relic sites and HiSec are like the least valuable sites in the whole game. $2012? Was that the Kestrel? 75 plex in a Kestrel is 2012? I remember it happened right around when I first started playing the game. And like the first 2 years or so of my playing of the game is kind of a blur. Oh, never mind. Aren't sleeper caches are data sites, right? Or are they relic? I thought they were data. See, 2 cosmic signatures here. Those might be good. Yeah, the data. Actually made opt to not go Covrops and use exploration frigates on these so I can potentially get gas sites as well and do the mobile depot. That's a good idea, especially if you're going to be doing it in low sec. Really good. I'm doing the Acero because that way I can do both the hacking and the combat site. Sleeper sites are so sleeper sites and sleeper space are relics. Sleeper caches are data sites, like forgotten and unsecured sites are relic. The Kestrel's in 2010, $1,300 worth of real life money. Yeah, that sounds both correct and big oof. Are the combat sites only T1 cruisers? You can use other ships for them. So anomalies don't. Hey, nth dimensional anomalies don't have acceleration gates. Well, combat anomaly. I don't think any combat anomalies besides like faction warfare plexes have acceleration gates. So anomalies don't have restrictions. So yeah, you can do the HiSec or you can do the real space combat anomalies in whatever you want. I've been doing them in the Acero. Do you know if these crafting mats are only found in case-based sites? Well, it's just like the Doctor Who sites. The crafting mats I've been getting have been for tier 1 filaments. Like, I've only gotten these 5 elements and isolated dimensional. Reread my question. Do you know if there are crafting mats that are only found in the case-based sites? I do not believe that there are any mats that are only found in case-based sites. No problem, Neo. Enjoy. Although I haven't done any filaments yet, so I could very well be wrong for that. We'll see. I will say that while I now have gotten some isolated dimensional threads from hacking, the vast majority of the isolated dimensional threads I've gotten was from the combat one. I have not seen Genos drop, but that is a very good candidate for what could drop in the highest combat sites that we don't know yet. Like, we actually do not know what's dropping in the highest combat sites. They don't mention implants. Wait. Oh, you have. Oh, you're saying, did you know? I thought you said, do you know? Okay. Okay. Where did, in a T2 site? Okay, yeah. Okay, well then there you go. That's the big prize. That's most likely the jackpot, or one of the big jackpots for the site. Felipe, that usually means that you're not in the right area. What are Genos? Genos are a set of implants that were originally only given away to people for like collector's editions and stuff. Like, they were given away on a very specific Eve birthdays to everyone, and then was never given out again. But they all 4 of them, they're part of the normal 1 through 5 set. Hold on. So you have the Geno CA1, CA2, CA3, and CA4. The CA1 gives you higher power grid and capacitor amount, and the Geno CA2 gives you higher CPU and capacitor recharge rate. The CA3 gives you velocity, ship velocity, and the 4 does ship agility. And of course, like any other implants, they all amplify each other. So the reason why these are important is because this is normally the only way to increase your power grid and CPU via implants are the 6 set. Well, not only, but the biggest way to increase your power grid and CPU is through the 6 slot. There's the EE60 series and the EG60 series. And so these are the only ones that allow you to kind of add additional power grid and CPU on top of those fitting things. So with a Geno set, you can fit ships that you cannot fit any other way, which is why Fonsui used to call them the asshole pod. Because people would share their fit around, and it requires a Geno set. Find anything either. The one I found had a warp straight out, lost shield and 3/4 armor before I pushed lock them button. What are you talking about, bad boy? Which site did you go to? So, Anth, you're doing the combat sites or the hacking sites? And you're already in T2? I guess I could have been doing T2 by now. I just, I spent more time hacking the outside world. Do you know if they are letting in the apotheosis or no? You mean the metamorphosis? I don't know. I don't think so. I didn't see an update for it. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you hard on that one. Exploration or covert ops frigate into a pocket of abyssal dead space. I'm gonna have to buy a gosh darn. Wait, where's my overview? Control tab opens up Windows. There we go. I don't know why that got all moved around. Ash, you can still do faction warfare? I don't understand. Yeah, I can do whatever I want. Well, so yesterday the metamorphosis was explicitly not listed. Should there be a sale to upgrade to Omega during the event? Probably, almost certainly. Well, so that's what I was saying is that chances are there's, if nothing else, there's going to be the Vanguard event this month. And so as we get closer to Vanguard, every month so far, they've done like a 20 days of Plex, 20 days of Omega, Vanguard access, and like some cool skin. Yes, so the Abyss is only standard basic T1 attack and combat cruisers of the 4 primary races. So each of the 4 empires have 2 ships, like the Omen and the Mauler, the Vexer and the Thorax, the Caracal and the Moa, and the Stabber and the Rupture. All right, any of this stuff need to be saved for in my hangar? No. All right. We want to build some ruined electrical, right? Because we want to try some of the exploration frigate sites. Yeah, covert ops. Let's go ahead and get started. Current station, copies. Item hanger? Aha! All right. We can do a couple of Sinisters as well. And another ruined. Oh, ran out of F-16. Wait, I thought there was like an easy way to click on something here to see what the whatever. View market details. Lock up my computer. Even if you can't do Vanguard, is it worth getting Vanguard sale for the Omega? I mean, if you want the Omega, like and it gives you the skin, it doesn't give you Vanguard. Like anybody with an Omega gets a Vanguard. It's literally just a smaller amount of time that happens to get you to when Vanguard is, but they also give you one of the Archempine Arisen skins. Buy 2 of those and build one of those. Super random, but conceptually zooming out and looking at Eve is fascinating. We're all just a bunch of gods just flying across the galaxy looking for material value, fighting other gods. Well, I mean, I used to say that too, but it was pointed out to me, like, and this really set like my Ashtaroth's kind of lore, I suppose. But in essence, we are Empyreans, and an Empyrean is an angel, right? Empyrean is the highest heaven in Dante's Paradiso. So Empyreans are angels. So I like to think of it as, Ashtaroth is a very Luciferian character. She's an angel who fancies herself a god. Yeah. That guy sounds poetic. I keep playing this game and paying this company money. I don't understand anything that's going on at any time. Well, watching my streams hopefully will help with that a little bit. Who has the keys to turn off the clones of Capsuleers? Concord. But yeah, like the name Empyreans came from the Empyrean Age, where Chitin Yun says, "Truly, the Capsuleers are the Empyreans of our age. They are the shepherds of, to the stars." No, this is a submarine simulator with extra steps. That's true. All right, we have a ruined electrical filament, so I guess we don't have to wait. Technically, no one has the keys anymore. You don't think Concord still holds on to that shit? I don't know, man. Like, here's the thing. They have to have the keys because the SEC regulates fluid router communication. Per CCP Delegate 0? Huh. I'd have to see that. Do you... Like, when I play Stellaris, if I zoom out, that game is fascinating as well. It's the timeline table. Well, yeah, and that's one of the things I really love about EVE Online is that basically we're playing as individual characters in a massive game of Stellaris that's playing out, basically, by the Empires. That's why, like, sometimes when players get mad because the Empires do something that's out of our control, it's like, you realize that we are space gods, but at the same time, we are but bit players in this larger tapestry that is going on. And sometimes when it moves, it doesn't care about us. All right, let's find out what happens, okay? Oh, I've got 30 minutes for this filament? 30 minutes? This is cake. Oh, my safety's enabled. Partial safety. That's a good question, and I've been wondering that kind of myself. That's 30%. I'd have to look at my chart to see. All right. Let's go ahead and start looting. Remember, I've only got 30 minutes to get in and out of here. There's a tachyon cloud. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. There aren't the big bursty things. There's just the clouds. Okay. Are the combat sites that way too? Are there big tachyon clouds, but not small knitted ones? Or are those all... I got to go look at the combat sites now. That's going to change a lot if that's true. They're the same? Or, hold on. Are you saying same to the clouds? Oh, so there aren't the knots? Okay. Well, interesting. Unfortunate. Yeah, there is no death border. So in the Doctor Who event, there wasn't the big clouds like these. There were these little nodes that when you got within 5 kilometers of them, they would burst and either slow you down or speed them up, depending on which one it was. So they were like little bombs, not clouds. And there was text in there that was talking about the tangled knots, but as we were looking at it yesterday, I even commented that that stuff had copy marked on it, so it might not be part of the final thing, and obviously it isn't. So here's the thing, like for instance, this item right here is probably going to be worth somewhere between 10 to 30 million, but it's currently worth 0 because nobody's ever bought, there is no average or historical price for it. Yeah, so the boundary, again, this is goes back to like the Doctor Who event. The way it works is that when you go out one side of the boundary, you come back in the other side. Where is the boundary? Where's the centerpiece? There's the centerpiece. I will look into like showing that off later or in a minute. So like this is a tachyon cloud. It speeds people up, and this is the purple one is probably the anti-tachyon cloud, the one that slows you down. This is also, by the way, a good reason why you might want those virus or the relic analyzer range bonuses, because if you notice, I'm going so fast and whipping around that sometimes I'm leaving that 5K range, and that'll fail the hack. But if you've taken the drug and your range is 15K, it's a lot harder to get slingshotted out of range. Let's see what happens if I just burn out. There's the boundary. Okay. And bloop. I'm now on the other side. The exact opposite side as I was on. And this is incredibly useful in the combat sites because the towers are often along the edges, or at least, again, they were. At this point, I'm not sure. But so utilizing the wall to your advantage, at least was a big piece of being able to do, especially the higher tier combat sites. Yeah, I will absolutely, we'll check every time. Are you doing a T1 hacking filament? That is correct. And while it does look like the T1 hacking filament is giving me the same stuff as the T2 as just outside, it is giving me a lot of the same stuff, but also some of the doodads, there's a new set of dots, you know, like the construction stuff for the next tier up filaments. All right, let's try jumping through again. Actually, let's go through the tachyon cloud. Can I go through the tachyon cloud to get to the wall faster? Oh no, the wall's right there. Never mind. Yeah. I'm assuming that the Damavik is like the smallest, like the weakest one. The Vedmak is the middle tier, and the Drakavek is the hard tier, and they'll eventually be a Lashak one at the higher tiers. That was dumb. Okay. See, B79, that's a new one. Shields for the 50/40s. Boo. Oh my god. Stop giving me stupid shit. All right, whatever. There it is. And since I came out of the tachyon cloud, now I want to give myself an opportunity to not whip around. Damn it, Vic, I'm not even bothering to go after the nice stuff because I just want to brute force it. Small cash. Succumb to the perils of abyssal dead space. Interesting. Oh my god. That was an accident. And this is the last can, and it's been 10 minutes for me. So this is a lot easier than the Doctor Who event, but this is also only tier 1. One of them is inside the tachyon, pretty much. So that's fun. All right. And we head out. Are all the tiers 30 minutes? Would Hobo Leaks know? Give me a second, I'll go check. "30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes." Yeah, it's in the text of all of the filaments. In fact, you could just look them up. Calamitous firestorm filament. 30 minutes. Although if you're you are not going to time out in the combat site, more likely than not. Unless you can't get past the reppers, I guess. Yeah, it is pretty good. Very forgiving. But my point is that on those higher tier, those turrets aren't going to give you 30 minutes. You either kill them or they kill you. All right. So for funsies, I'm just going to grab the Mauler and we're going to try it out. I've always been too bad on combat. It is really cool that there are hacking filaments in this game, or in this one, in my opinion. All right, let's see what I got. The B79 filament is, I think, different, right? Yeah, I don't have a B79 filament before, or piece before. So that was about 10 million plus this drug and a little bit more pieces. Oh God, that was dumb. Hold on. I accidentally hit the I I hit the icon in the top left because when I was trying to go after the Neocom, and then I accidentally clicked a second time, which just closed it. Uh, what is the historic Capsuleer? They're level 1, Nth. The historic Capsuleer. Sorry, that the crate. So they are like basically they drop items from previous events. That's why they're called historic. Why I got some of the items without getting a box, I don't know. Let's go look. I mean, yeah, they could have just given me the hat. Ooh. Yeah. It probably can give some good stuff in there. But you can sell a gotcha box. That's true. Only if people will buy it. That said, wait, isn't this a full set now? Yeah. I got the men's suit and cap. You can deck out your dude in gold and black. Hey, smile for the internet. I'm not really sure what to do this time around. I want to get my real life friends to play. Good luck with that. If you crack the secret of that, let me know. I will say that for you in particular, smile for the internet, June and the upcoming add-ons to Vanguard that is coming with it is going to be the big piece to it. There's another super rare clothing item. I haven't. Let me go look. If there is a super rare clothing item, they didn't add it to the game in the same patch. But that said, there are plenty of super rare clothing items that have just never dropped. I mean, there's a pretty decent. I mean, there's an above 0% chance that people are going to come back from the top tiers and be like, "I found a Triglavian survival suit, Svarog," and then I'll be very sad. Yeah, I don't see any new items added. Okay, so this is my Mauler. I have it. I stole this from the Capsuleer Day stuff. It's got an afterburner, which I hope will be sufficient, and a cap booster, and you know all this other stuff. So let's find out if it works. Nope. Sinister Exotic. Let's go. This fit will be perfect. Why are Trigs in the site? Because so what's happening is the Trigs and the Drifters are fighting in Abyssal Dead Space, and their conflict is somehow causing the conduits to collapse and basically spit everything into known space. So what we're seeing is actual like remnants of battlefields between the Triglavians and the Drifters, and that's why we can get those little the pieces that let us lock on to where those battlefields took place and travel to those battlefields, which is the filaments. Of course, we need a good skin for this ship. Oh no, I already am using. I've got Purity of the Throne. There we go. So, what if this is a teaser for the nullsec update for the new sites? Well, I mean, potentially, but like this really is a copy paste of the Doctor Who event with some extra stuff, like with some small abyssal changes, like to make it look abyssal instead of Doctor Who. It was that like timey-wimey bullshit was spitting things into our universe, and we were using it to track it back to Galifar originally. So, all right, let's go. Now, at this level, there isn't a tower? Wait, there's no tower? Tier 1 doesn't have a tower at all? Okay, well, fair enough. The secret is, so the preserver is going to rep while the battleship is going to do the majority of the damage, right? Weather strength, gamma, 30% kinetic resistance. Tier 1. Oh yeah, anti-tachyon cloud. Oh, that reduces your signature radius? That's actually pretty cool. But I definitely need to stay out of it. I actually played quite a bit of Vanguard this last weekend. Oh, the drone newts? Yeah. That must be why I had the cap booster. Currently building my Astero. Can I sub in a Litiger integrated analyzer for the Zegma integrated analyzer? Only if you want to lose virus strength. So the Litiger is basically like a Tech 1 hacker, and the Zegma is a Tech 2 hacker. Stop it, anti-tachyon. Oh yeah. Yeah. If you're already stuck with doing a Tech 1 analyzer, then yes, the Litiger is just as fine, and you can still use black glass. Yeah. Exactly. If you don't have Tech 2, then actually going Litiger and black glass allows you to pretend like you do have Tech 2. Black glass is the implant, the neural lace black glass implant. I need to switch my ammo because he's outpaced me, because I'm going too slow, because I'm in an anti-tachyon cloud. Don't be in an anti-tachyon cloud. It's black glass, one word, by the way, if you go to search for it. It increases your virus strength by 20. But only for data analyzers. So if you just have a standard relic analyzer, it doesn't work. But a Zegma and an integer, both of those have are considered data analyzers. Can you guys Hold on. All right. So yeah, like here, if you look at this and you see like, oh my god, all of this, I only got 11,000 ISK, but that's because all of these things are considered 0 right now. So there you go. We've done a combat site, we've done a hacking site, or a relic filament. We've done the combat anomaly, and we did the relic anomaly. So we've done all 4 of the basic event sites today. And now I have 2 tasks to sell material. So it's time for me to go to the market. Can I show my fit? Yep. This is, I literally just, so I grabbed this from Eve Workbench. I can probably throw this one up on Eve Workbench too, but I don't think this is going to be a good long-term one, honestly. There's probably going to be better fits for doing this long-term. I just grabbed this from the Doctor Who event, and I brought down. Oh, I guess I didn't bring down some of the stuff. Oops. But here is the fit. You've got 5 focus pulse medium lasers, 2 Federation Navy 10MN afterburner, Republic Fleet large cap battery. Both of these are relatively cheap, 20-30 million each. Compact capacitor booster, and then armor upper, heat sink, double multi-spectrums, Tech 2. Those were Federation Navy in the original setup, but I switched them to this. And then the medium auxiliary armor repper. Also, there was an expensive repper on here too, probably for higher tier stuff. And then medium auxiliary nano pump to increase your repping, and medium energy metastasis adjuster, which is tracking. So now I go here and I grab this stuff. I go here to red? Yeah. So I'm going to sell a single isolated dimensional thread on the market. And apparently those are worth 500,000 each, even though, so like this is 250 million ISK? Wait, hold on. No, 25 million ISK. Okay. I added one too many zeros. That makes me feel a lot better. Now I need to do a battle scarred wreck analyzed and a drone destroyed. So I need to do more normal sites. What? I don't have any more of this? All right, all right, all right. Wait, hold on. I bet you the metal scraps that I got will definitely give me some titanium. There's my titanium. So now I just need pyrite. I love locking up my my client every time I open up the market. That seems great. Is everything even working? Hold on. I've got a white screen now. Okay. Yeah, we're still going. Weird. There, we'll never run out of pyrite again. Wait, what? That's cool. Wait, hold on. Did they win? Is that because they won? I just got distracted. Yeah, it's because they won. That's pretty cool. Let's do one more of the Sinisters. The T1 combat. And I do have the Apotheosis now. That's neat. Oh, shoot. Ah, well. After this, somebody remind me. We'll try to buy a Metamorphosis. You can't use a Bellicose, so you'd use a Stabber? Oh, yeah. There it is. It's only combat and attack T1. So only the 2 ships for each race. So Stabber, Rupture. The Bellicose is a disruption frigate or disruption cruiser because it's mostly focused on target painting and webbing. Or target painting? I think it's just target painting, right? It doesn't get the webbing stuff until T2. No problem. Igniting Swarmer. Oh, cool. So, yeah, this time I got the Leshak room. And so the thing is that because it's a random one, like the Leshak is more armored focused, the Drifter is more shield focused. Also, this Leshak is not shooting me. Huh. Is that normal? The Metamorphosis works, so maybe the Bellicose will. That seems like some cope. I need to do 30,000 damage to battleships. This thing's going to die before I do 20,000. Strength is 30% kinetic resistance. Yeah, that's a good point. This guy, oh, there he goes. He finally locked me. And now he's webbed me. He webbed me. That's okay. Okay. I guess that's what shackling means. They give you a good head start. I should probably turn on my afterburner. That would help. Yep, that would definitely help. That does remind me. When I get out of here, I also want to tell you a little bit about why the Afterburner is such a good damage mitigation tool. I think a lot of people don't quite give it the credit that it deserves. And I always talk about how, you know, the Afterburners for damage mitigation, the micro warp drive is for repositioning, but I don't necessarily explain why that is. It's 30%. It's 30% kinetic resistance, 50% scan resolution bonus. Then let them rep. I mean, you know, nah. So, although I did do 25,000 out of 30,000. Boo. So the, okay. So here's the thing about Afterburner, okay? And so really the best damage mitigation, or rather any damage mitigation that involves the enemy missing, is superior to resistances, in my opinion, okay? And the reason why is a little bit about the counterintuitive nature of how shots work, okay? In fact, let's start by going to the agency and looking at the help section and seeing for just a second, let's look at tracking, the tracking video. So we can see that while my tracking speed is as fast as the ship, there is no problem with me shooting. But if the ship is faster than my tracking speed, my ability to hit rapidly falls off, right? But if they're far enough away, then you can still track them, right? So, in other words, the faster that someone is going, the harder it is for you to hit them, right? Now, micro warp drive makes you go very fast, but the other piece to the calculation here is your signature radius, okay? So, and the reason why this is important is because, let's go back to that video again. So the important thing here is that if this ship was going a little bit faster, it would move out of its tracking radius, right? But if it was a little bit bigger than its radius, like if you think about like its death zone, the bigger the ship, the more like you could track at the beginning of the ship, and by the time you fire, it's still the end of the ship, but you're still hitting the ship because it's big. If it's small, then and fast, then it's really hard to hit. But the bigger it is, then the easier it is to hit even when fast, right? Okay. But the point here is that going faster makes you get hit less, but a lot of that going faster is mitigated in the micro warp drive by also blooming your signature, making you easier to lock and hit. And that counteracts a lot of the advantage that you get from the micro warp drive in your speed. Here's why this is important. Here's how turrets work. Every time a turret fires, the game rolls a 100-sided die and then consults a chart. Basically, that number, whatever gets rolled on that 100-sided die, is added. They add 50 to it, and that's how much damage you do. And that's the big critical thing, is that a lot of people expect it to be like, okay, I rolled a hit, and then I rolled a damage, right? And so hitting and damage are independent of each other. This is important because if you miss, right, a miss is a hit that never happened. And a hit could be anything from full damage to like 1 damage, right? That's still a hit. 1 damage is still a hit. But that isn't actually how things work here, because damage and accuracy are the same thing in Eve. So the way it works is that it rolls a 100-sided die, and then it consults the chart. And when you have a chance to miss, that chance to miss covers up the top of the chart, right? So if you have a 90% chance to miss, or sorry, if you have a 90% chance to hit, and it rolls an 89, then it goes 89 plus 50, you do 139% damage. Congratulations. Of the basic turret damage that you're supposed to be doing, right? If you roll a 5, then 50 plus 5, 55. So you do 55% of the damage that's listed on the turret, right? If you roll a 1, that's a wrecking shot. That's 300% damage. That's fine. But if you roll a 91, Remember, we have a 10% chance to miss. So everything from 100 to 90 is covered up by missing. So instead of doing the 141% damage, I instead do 0 because it's a miss. So you're not just losing 10% of your shots, you're losing your best 10% shots. Meaning the 90% of shots that remain hitting are, none of them are going to be in that top upper bound, because if they're in that top upper bound, they miss. So damage mitigation from making the opponent miss, i.e. signature tanking and afterburners and such, kind of double dips on its power, where resistance just reduces the damage by however much the resistance is. The making them miss destroys their best hits, besides wrecking shots. A stabber navy will not be allowed, a normal stabber will. Right now, the Vexer and the stabber, I think, are winning, but I haven't really been doing too much with the combat sites. One may emerge. But yeah, so I hope that's helpful to at least somebody. And if it is, like the stream. Yay! Hopefully, I mean, certainly by Thursday, we'll be able to do higher tiers than just tier 1. I'm disliking the stream because I can't take my Stratios. Wait, look, man, I'm on you. I'm with you on this one. I'm with you on this one. Oh, shit. That's right. Nope. I can't do this right now. We're supposed to experiment. Oh, all right. Hold on. It's kind of a meme that every time I get inside of a metamorphosis, I die. And every time I open up the market, it locks up. Neat. Why keep all the expired drugs? Because keeping them means... because the default is keeping them, and destroying them takes an action. The active thing to do is to destroy them. The passive thing to do is just let them be there. I am buying Metamorphosis as probably their most expensive possible price. LOL, really? Why do you die? You know, here and there. I can't remember all of the details. I remember that one time I got a Metamorphosis and I died before I even got to the area that I expected to, like, be doing stuff. It's a meme. All right, let's fit this thing up. Yeah, expired drugs are collector's items, exactly. Relic. Nano. Overdrive. What else do we want to put in here? Another nano. And I should do it. I don't even need rigs on this thing. It's just extend all your expired drugs. I have a lot of expired drugs. You may not want that, Zip. Or Zap. Oh, okay. So your in-game is Zap. Your Twitch or YouTube thing is Zip. That's why I keep on saying the wrong thing. Okay, great. Now I know. Let us go with the electrical. Time to go find out. I'll stop try. I mean, it's your own level of like maintenance, I guess. I have. Look, let's be frank. I have a lot of things in a lot of places. Okay. I wouldn't judge your management of things with my management of things. Do you have the reward track filament box yet? I don't believe so. Nope. Ready? Oh, it looks like it's gonna work. Filament is not compatible with Ashtarothi's current ship. Get wrecked! My disappointment is immeasurable. I take it back. This is the worst event ever. I hate everything. Let's go play World of Warships. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, man. How disappointing. Wait, I can't even close this window? Well, I guess I can right-click to close it. There's no X on it. That's pretty funny. Well, somebody got 90 million out of me. Well, the tanks. Let's go play Raid Shadow Legends. That's what I actually do. All right, let's get back to the combat ones, because I seem to be getting a little bit, well, like it seems faster to get stuff from the combat one at the very least. So, and I still have to finish this damage dealing to a battleship. That's what you get for not using a T1 cruiser. Well, no, this is the hacking sites. The Astero is usable. In what world is it okay for the Astero to be used, but not the Metamorphosis? Figure that one out. Get back to me. I didn't mean to start a World of War something argument. I don't play any of them. Laughs in Helios. I was playing around in Helios earlier. They're good. But I switched over to the Astero because, you know, it can do both the combat and the relic site in known space. I think I'm going to try to do some more manual piloting this time. Oh, there's an Edencom scout cache this time. War Thunder. Okay, guys. Oh, good. I get to sell more materials. Do I need to be in K-Space for the anoms to show up? I've looked in 4 different null systems and haven't found it despite scanning dozen things. Yeah. 4 systems is not a lot of systems to check. It is in high sec, low sec, null sec, and wormhole space. Yeah, but staying extremely close is helped by staying out of the clouds. And actually, so like the Drifter battleship likes to keep it range on you. So by being on the far side of the cloud, I'm actually pushing the Drifter battleship into the anti-tachyon cloud instead of myself. That's why I've chosen to do manual piloting. That way I can keep moving while still never having to worry about drifting into the tachyon cloud unless I mess it up. I don't know whether or not it shows up in Pochfin, honestly. I assume it does, but I haven't received any reports either way. No, anti-tachyon, no! Go away! I wish it had a different image so that way I could see that it's a bad one. Come on. Let me out. Let me out. There we go. Whew. I'm going to give this thing a wide berth. Should be good enough. Weather strength, 30, 50, same. It's been the same each time. I won't know until we get later on to get into the tech 2s or the tier 2s and stuff. You leave the film whenever, or like the Abyss, you're stuck until you kill everything. This gate did not open until I killed something, or until I killed the battleship. The hacking one can be left at any time because there is nobody there, and this frigate doesn't stop it. The frigates continue to spawn even after you've killed the battleship. The battleship's what matters. I mean, I probably got like 10 million from this site, maybe. Which, I mean, considering how much time it takes, isn't too bad. Especially since this is, again, the lowest tier. I do really wish I got more material for tier 2. I need to go check to see, or a blueprint for tier 2. I don't think I have a blueprint for tier 2 yet. But I think that this might be a good time to start wrapping things up. I've kind of showed off quite a bit of stuff. We've been going for 2.5 hours. I think that this covers almost everything you could possibly think of when it comes to this event right now. At least what we can figure out today. Is there anything else that we wanted to test? All I know is I'm going to be doing this quite a bit because So to me, the thing is that like I want the XXI Capsuleer Day skins. They look really good, and I want them all. And so far, I haven't heard of them anywhere yet. So we gotta keep hunting. And that was true with the Doctor Who event too, because they had the Interstellar Convergence skins that I liked to collect then. Let's look. What was it called? Actually, now that I think about it. This is not the way to find a random skin. It's just by like glancing through the list in order to try to find it. Gosh darn it. Hold on. Warp Convergence. There it is. Yeah, I ended up with all 18. Wait, is that all of them? Yeah, show all skins. So I got all 18 Warp Convergence skins. That's how much I enjoyed the event. And then this time we have Capsuleer Day 21. And that's 30 skins. But the event track has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the login campaign has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's 20. 8 plus 12, right? Yeah. So that's only 10 of these that drop. We'll have to see. Have I betrayed the Galente? Oh, yeah. A while ago. The Deathless is the Deathless and I see eye to eye on a lot of things. Besides, I don't get along with sedition very well. Yeah, have a good time, guys, with this event. I think that there's definitely some ISK here. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I think that people will kind of find the higher tier stuff will be more valuable. That's the way it was before. This is all very high Seki level tier stuff, so I'm only expecting like 5-10 million ISK or whatever each. How much is this thing? Is this for sale yet? Oh yeah, I locked up my computer again because I opened up the market. Yeah. So, any rate, I think that this should about wrap things up. So, I have been Ashtarothi. I've been playing this game since 2010, talking about it since 2012, and I'm here to put even to context for you, my fellow Empyreans. Thank you guys so much for coming, taking part, enjoying the stream, participating, watching it, liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing it with your friends. These are all very important to myself and the show and everybody who does gain value out of this. If you gained value out of it, make sure to like. And if you want to help support, make sure this show happens. You can become a member for just $1 or more, or a patron. And if you're a member, you get access to all those emotes. And in theory, if I write a video, then you get those early too. But yeah, and you can more than welcome to join the Convocation of Empyreans, where we help maximize player engagement with EVE Online. You can pick up some merch, including mugs and shirts and everything on my merch store. blah, 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 blah. And make sure if you haven't already done it, you get 1,000,000 free SP by using the link down below. It helps all of my people that are on my awesome list of awesome people. Yeah, get out there, have a good time. In the comments, please let me know what kind of loot that you guys have gotten and from where. What is the coolest loot that you've gotten so far this event and from where? I want to start collecting up the information. One last thing, actually. So as I've shown in the link below, there is the, oh, shoot. Hold on. I got something else to show at the very end, I suppose, which is, so on my Notion, I've posted a video, or I've posted a page for the Capsulio Day. That's not it. And there was an image that was posted by, hold on. So this image was created by Gumi on, and we got it from the ARC Discord, Arataka Research Consortium. And it really breaks down kind of the way that this works, right? So you do case-based collapse conduits, and yeah, so that would be treacherous and desolate collapse conduits in high, low, null wormhole. That gives you the materials to go into the exploration, which is ruined and sinister. And then in those, you get the stuff to get the next tier up, and the next tier up, and the next tier up. Okay? So that's pretty much how this event breaks down. But with all that said, I've been Ashrothi, the voice of New Eden. Until next time, I'll see you in space. Don't steal from my sites if you do see me in space either. Let's all just be friendly today, okay? It's the birthday. Eve is old enough to drink. It's time to just get sloshed and go out there and have fun. Have a good one, guys. See you hopefully on Thursday.
Bring on the wrecking machine. For every city you burn, I'm gonna build high. Bring on the wrecking machine, setting your dreams of heaven on fire. Bring on the wrecking machine. Bring on the wrecking machine. Bring on the wrecking machine. Gonna ignite your every desire. Bring on the wrecking machine. For every city you burn, let it burn, let it burn, let it burn. For every city